What? Wait, what? What? Is there no sound? Why is this like um why is there no sound? What the hell is going on? Oh.
And you really read them. If they don't make the hair stand up in the back of your neck, you are not paying attention. And one kid wrote things, I cannot believe that people could write. And I exposed myself to a lot of crazy things that people have done and said. You just can't understand it. It's uncanny, you know. Well, that's where you end up if you get bitter. It's like, well, what can you do about that? Well, the world is harsh. It's like, should you criticize it? Not until you put yourself together. You've got to bring everything you can to bear on the problem before you have any right to stand in judgment about being yourself. And that's what these mass murderers do. That's what they're doing. That's what they're acting out. They're saying, well, I'm looking out in the world. I don't like people. They're full of flaws. They act badly. They're a cancer on the face of the planet. It'd be better if they didn't exist at all. I don't like being. It's too full of suffering and evil. I'm the judge of this. I'm going to make my goddamn case. I'm going to take them out. And then it's more than that. It's like I'm going to take them out and I'm going to do it with innocence first. Because that's the thing you got to get about mass murder. They're not hunting down the guilty. That's too obvious. They're hunting down the innocent. That's the best protest. Think about it. Well, I don't want to think about it. Well, that's for sure. You bloody well don't want to think about it. But you better think about it. That's where you go when you take that criticism of being approach. It's like you don't get to do that unless you want to end up there. It's bad. So what do you do instead? Stop doing stupid things. Stop lying. Stop making things worse. Stop making yourself weak. Even in a day, you'll see that you have choices in front of you, and sometimes you don't know what to do. It's okay, you're ignorant. Maybe you make a mistake. Whatever. That's just ignorance. Malevolence is when you know what you shouldn't do. And you do it anyways. People do that all the time. And that arrogance, that's, I'll get away with it. It's a good thing, because you're lying to yourself about whether you should do this or not. You know you shouldn't. And then it's resentment because, well, it's like, I'm going to do this bad thing because that'll teach the people, that'll teach God to treat me this way. That's the terrible trinity. Deceit, arrogance, resentment. Chase those out of your life.
Got a nice little outro here that I'm going to talk over. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea how it fixed itself. The Wi-Fi dropped, and then it, we tried power cycling the modem. That didn't work. We tried going into the modem settings directly, the IP address thing to go to the modem settings directly. That didn't work because the admin password that's written on the modem doesn't work. And then, we uninstalled and reinstalled the modem. That didn't work. And I know the process that you have to do a full power down of your computer and bring it back up again for network cards and things like that. So we did that. We did it properly. Still nothing. And then all of a sudden, when I'm sitting here Boom, we've got full bars. I'm like, what, huh? How did we get full bars? And so I have no idea what my modem is doing. And the scary thing is that, it works on my cell phone. It just didn't work on the computer. And I've been having trouble with the TV today. And so it's only certain devices that the Wi-Fi is screwing up for. So I got nothing. I got nothing, guys. I got nothing. I don't know. I don't know. So, anywho, let's see where I put it over here. Rule number 6. This is the Solzhenitsyn rule. Oh, don't you dare. I got gremlins, folks. I just got gremlins. That's all there is to it. They're just gremlins. I don't know what's going on. Why did it just skip out just then? I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know, folks. I don't know what's going on. We're gonna do rule 6 on another time because I'm not going to have all this buffering BS go on while we're trying to do a book study. So let us hang out. I'm going to put yeah. So anybody want to come up and carry the show for when I crap out? I greatly appreciate it. But so we can just talk about the song that we just heard from Akira the Dawn. I mean, it didn't crap out for the entire song, and then suddenly it starts crapping out now. I don't understand it. It's voodoo. Something weird is going on. I have gremlins. I don't know what's going on. We're just gonna let it be. We're gonna let it be, and we're not going to try and do something as difficult as read rule number 6 with the internet and everything behaving like this. It's just no. I'm no. But we got another 45 minutes of fun that we can do and just hang out and be lovely people together. So yeah, the song talking about the Columbine killers and going to dark places. Jordan Peterson says that he can't understand that. I can. I certainly can. I most certainly can understand those dark places. I've been there. So angry at the world that you would commit mass homicide. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And just the thing is yeah, you do want to take out innocents first because that's the best protest. Oh, you think that innocence exists, you think that the innocent life exists, you think that, things can be wonderful and perfect and everything like that. Boom, here's a hole in the head. Now what do you think? They want to pull people down to their dark level so that you see their pain and maybe we'll do something about it. We'll do something about the suffering that exists at that level. It's a cry for help in the most twisted and destructive way possible. And it's usually not really a cry for help because these are the people that have given up. They're just done. They're just done. My feed is magically better. Yeah, I know. This is spooky voodoo. I don't know what's going on. It's really bizarre. So please, anybody who wants to come up, please do. Here we go again. But yes, I can. Yeah. This is frustrating. These internet things are frustrating. What in God's green earth is going on here? So yeah, the idea is that you don't get to criticize the world unless you yourself have tried everything. And this was very similar of the study that I was in, the migraine study. Is you did not get into that study until you had literally tried everything. Everything. Yes. And some people are at that point. It's hard to believe that you can be at that point where you have tried everything. You can get there though. You can certainly get there. So the idea is that you want to use every ounce of your strength, every, ability you have, every, talent, everything to trying to set your house in order. Trying to make sure that, you're always on time to stuff. I wasn't. Trying to make sure that, your bed's always made in the morning, that kind of thing. Little things like that, where everything is always, where you're taking care of business. Ryzen says, I wish I could come on and give you a hand, but my daughter is potty training currently. And she's wanting to sit on the potty every 3 minutes. Yes, of course she does. This is a newfound world for her. Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to come up, but I've got another 3 hours of work to do, says, okay, Kevin Edwards. I'll I have no idea what that word is. Manatesis? I have no idea. Help me out with that word, okay, Kevin. But yeah, so, and it's like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you tried that? Have you tried it 10 times? Have you tried it for 2 years? Have you tried, like Greg Kelly was talking about, he called that guy for how many years to be a line operator? It was years. It was multiple years that he called that guy every single day. You got a job for me? No. 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 Man, you're really dedicated. Yes. I think he means mantis. I don't know. Oh yeah. He probably does. Maybe. Mantis, like the wandering mantis. Right on. She says hi, fam. So yeah, mantis. If you want to come up, that would be killer. Let me post the link again, and hope to God it doesn't crap out before we get the link sent. Oh man. Too funny. Too funny. So yeah, you got to bring everything to bear before you criticize the world. Because, I mean, the world's really big. And compared to the world, we are really small. Wandering Mantis says, I wish I could, but my honey just got home from his trip. Oh, kisses and hugs to honey. Glad he made it home safe. So, yeah. And it wasn't just the stuff with the internet here. It was, the dogs were underfoot all day long. Don't know why. I, tripped over Free twice, and she's usually a lot better being a small dog. She's a lot better at, removing her body from the area that feet are. So, and that was frustrating, and just, but I did get my crown. I got my crown. I have a crown now on a tooth that was bleh. So we made it non-bleh and got a crown. Woo! So, you are very welcome. You're very welcome. So yeah, glad that the hubby made it home safe. So yeah, before you criticize the world, because you are small and the world is big and time makes changes. Oh, really? Oh, you miss your Mary Lou, don't you? Sam is so upset. I wish I could. Let me see if I can turn the camera to show you how upset Mr. Sam is. I got the Febreze, but I'm sitting there moping that Mary Lou is no longer here. And oh my gosh, you can see in the background that this is a wreck right now. I need to clean this area up. I've been too hyper focused on getting some stuff done that, could make the nonprofit money and stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm overwhelmed, just trying to do this little thing, trying to have people help. That's a nightmare. Yeah, you remember those group projects you used to do in high school? And you had that one person who would do the project, and then everybody else in the group just effed off. And maybe one or two people would feel bad for, sloughing all the work onto one person, and they might help a little bit with something, but a lot of times they might be too in the way and, trying to redo stuff that's already done because they haven't been there to pay attention to know. Yeah, it's one of those situations like that. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. And then to have all of this happen on top of it, so frustrating, so frustrating, so frustrating, so frustrating. It's like you want to claw your own eyes out. So, yes, hurrah for getting crowns on teeth. That's an improvement. That's an accomplishment. Put it in the win column. There it is. Hurrah. But you got to take these little victories and stuff like that. So, Mantis says, you're doing amazing with your nonprofit, Pam. Oh, thank you. But I got a 2-week deadline to be able to produce a course for continuing medical education, because I don't know that the doctor that I've assigned it to is actually going to do the work. So I'm making a backup just in case he doesn't do the work. And, I have to make a test for it as well. And I'm supposed to be doing the testing module while he's doing the actual writing of the module. Is he writing the module? I don't know. and it's just I tried communicating with him, and he said some stuff that I didn't understand, and I came back to him with, hey, this is like this and this is like this. Shouldn't this be, what's going on here? And crickets, absolute crickets. We have a meeting tomorrow. Hopefully he'll show up there and explain it to me. But yeah, I'm needless to say, having a rough time of it. And my hives were back today. So I think they might actually be a little stress related, because I was sitting in the doctor's office and then all of a sudden just this huge welt just showed up on my arm, and he even saw it. So it's not like, it's just I'm imagining things or whatever, or I just get the itchies. No, he was like, "Oh, it's a pretty big hive there." And I'm like, "Yeah." So I have an appointment with an allergist on the 25th, and 5 days before that, I'm supposed to be on no antibiotics, no extra. Wow, that looks wrong. Come on, camera. There we go. 0 antibiotics, 0 extra prednisone. So I may end up looking like a pincushion. I don't know. Tomato. I'll look like a tomato is what I'll look like. It just hives everywhere. So, but that's what they want. That's what they want. Okay, fine. I'll do it. 5 days is not that bad. So, yeah, that's where I am with doing stuff and setting my house in order. And the thing is that if I'm that inflamed, well, at least one, he will see that I'm that inflamed and know that I am that inflamed. Second, I mean, it will make any sort of allergy testing impossible, because who knows what in the world I'm allergic to. But he's an allergist, and he can actually prescribe, I think, the big guns, which is what I may need at this point, because the stuff that I'm taking now, oh my gosh, I'm like throwing it at the hives, and the hives are like, "Yeah, we got your number. Here, have some itching." It's just like, ah. So that's where the hives are. They're still here. It's enough to make you cry. Yeah, and then Mary Lou, bless her heart, was helping out by sweeping the kitchen, and she wanted to check to see if John was home, and she just went home. And I was in the middle of talking to Greg Kelly to try and fix this internet thing, and she just went home, and I was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Did she go to the correct house? Because the house on this side is Barb's house with the kids, and then her house is on that side, and she always wants to go to Barb's house." I'm like, "Did she make it to the right house?" So she did make it to the right house, but she forgot her coat. So I ran over and I gave her coat back to her. But it's one of those things where it's like, I can see now how terrified John and Mariah get when they don't know where she is. I mean, I just lost it. I was just like, oh my gosh, she didn't say goodbye. She didn't, do anything. She was supposed to just, check out the front door, but then she actually stepped out, and I didn't see that because I was doing something else. And it's like, just up and gone. And it's like, oh, wow. So like having a child that can carry on a very, very adult conversation. So, yeah, her in her bad moments. It's so difficult to see. It's so difficult to watch. I doubt that she even knows my name. I don't think she remembers it. And it's just one of those things where you make sure it never comes up in conversation. um, and because I can tell her something, and today it must be a storm coming in because the way I'm feeling and the way she's feeling. But I would tell her something and she would start to go do it, and then something in her brain would just and she would shut down and she'd go back to where she was and start over. And Mary Lou, can you let the dogs in? And she'd start to go, and then she'd get confused and she'd turn around and she'd come back to where she was in the first place. Mary Lou, can you let the dogs out please? And it would just repeat a couple of times like that. um, and it would she did seem to take comfort in sweeping my kitchen floors, so I let her do that. So that was nice. And then if you talk to her, she can carry on a conversation and things like that, but trying to rely on anything that has to do with memory that isn't already laid down really, really well, it's going to be hard. And I can't imagine watching that, John and Mariah watching that as she gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, knowing what she was like and just seeing her disappear. For me, it's less painful because I didn't ever have that connection. So, and we do it in trade. They shovel my walks for me. I provide the adult, daycare center, and they shovel my walks when the snow gets nasty. So, I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah. What time is it? Still got half an hour to go. And now that I'm talking about nothing, see, the connection stays fine. And the second I start talking about the book or something serious like that, watching it drop, in the middle of something that actually means something, watch it drop. I mean, it's weird how things happen like that sometimes. It's too coincidental. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. And sometimes we're just at those points. And, I wish I had been able to talk to the Columbine kids before any of that had happened. Because understanding that dark place and going, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, that's messed up too. Absolutely, yeah, that's hypocritical. You've read Catcher in the Rye, right? Okay, yeah, the whole world is like this, and all you're doing is waking up to it. All you're doing is, realizing from the point of view of a child versus an adult ways of thinking. And, there's some things, it's pretty nasty out there. It is pretty nasty out there. And the way that you survive it, the way that you deal with it is try to add as little nasty as possible to the pile. Don't make things worse. The guy cut you off, don't then flip him off. It may be emotionally gratifying to flip him off, but that just escalates things. It just adds to the problems. We want fewer problems, not more. So, is the chat frozen? I am only seeing wandering mantises. Oh no! And I'm not making fun of that. I love who is it? Mr. Bill, the cartoon or the claymation stuff. Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know if somebody say something in the chat to let me know that there are people there. Or that I'm here. Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. I'm going to check it on YouTube. See if I'm live there. Oh, yep. that survivals thing. Survival has been doing some killer lives. I really like his stuff. All right. So now we're doing my channel. Oh, yep. Or yeah, Mr. Bill. That's it. Okay, so things are going well. And man, I look a mess. Oh, I do not look pretty in the picture that they used. Let's see if I can get it up there. Come on, camera, camera, camera. No, it's not going to do it. Oh well. So, stress is starting to melt away. And that's the thing. It's like, you learn that these things absolutely do exist, that there are things out there that are more horrible than you can imagine. And that, yeah, the world is an effed up place. Don't add to it. I wonder if we could find some of the writings of Columbine online. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? All right, let's do that. No, I want the actual diaries and journals of Dylan Klebold. There we go. All right. So there was a lot of controversy over the journals, notebooks, and plans written by Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold regarding the assault on Columbine. A lot of misinformation was circulated and treated as fact before anybody had seen the diary firsthand, save the people who found it and the officers who confiscated it. Yeah, I remember that day. I remember exactly where I was sitting. And I remember watching the news feed and watching the telephone game happen in real time, where, it was first that other students called them the Trenchcoat Mafia, and then it turned into, known as the Trenchcoat Mafia, and, then it became the Trenchcoat Mafia, and just these journalists copying other journalists, to try and get the word out, their whatever their thing published with the hits and everything like that. If it bleeds, it leads. And having it be other students called them that too. They called themselves that, which is complete 180. And watching that happen in real time with a news story, whereas 3 hours ago it was this and now it's this. So the truth came out first, but the lie got circulated more often because it was more salacious. And it's like, oh my gosh, you bastards. So a combination of laziness and greed. Not a good combo, let me tell you. So a lot of misinformation was circulated and treated as fact before anyone had seen the diary firsthand. It was nearly impossible to decipher truth from fiction, like many other aspects of the tragedy. Yes, figuring everything out would take years. Yeah, I believe it. The shooter's notebooks, often referred to diaries by many news media outlets, were found only a couple of days after the shootings. In thorough searches of the boys' houses and lockers, all manners of outrageous stories aired regarding the findings, though some, like CNN's coverage 5 days after the shootings, kept to safer generalities. This was back when CNN was, worth something. 5 days after the shootings, okay. Salon.com ran a far more thorough article. Wow, Salon. Think about that. They used to run real journalism. First glimpse into Eric Harris's diaries written by Dave Cullen. They came under fire at the time because of the sealed natures of the journals, but has since been proven to hold a good deal of information regarding the killer's writings. He has a more in-depth study of what happened at Columbine posted here, and it gives a link. It's blurry, but you can see it. Awesome. So there was another big deal made elsewhere online about how the boys envisioned killing as many as 500 students before they would go on to attack neighboring homes, capping things off by hijacking a jet and crashing it in New York. While the shooters did write about such things, they were in the context of complete fantasy and not something they seriously had plans mapped out to do. More disturbing were the creative writing stories they wrote and the actual plans they sketched involving assault on Columbine. Now that's what I want to try and find. I want to try and find the darkest things they have. Rebel News. Huh. All right. Hello, everyone. These are the words of wisdom from REB. This page explains the various things in the world that annoy the SHIT out of me. God, I just love freedom of speech. Keep in mind that these are just my points of views and may or may not reflect on anyone else. I do swear a lot on this page, so F off if you're a downstairs kitty cat who can't handle a little Lord above damned bad language. Trying to keep it clean, folks. Now let's get started. You know what I hate? When I'm walking around in a mall and there is this slow as SHIT person walking in front of me. GD it, I'm trying to get somewhere, so move it or lose it, biatches. You know what I hate? When there's a group of assholes standing in the middle of a hallway or walkway and they're just standing there and talking and blocking my effing way. Get the F out of the way or I'll bring a friggin' sawed-off shotgun to your house and blow your snotty head off. You know what I hate? When people don't watch where they are effing going, then they plow into me and say, oops, sorry, or watch it, or yeah. Next time it happens, I will rip 2 of your damn ribs out and shove them in your effing eyeballs. I mean, this is like, just, are you kidding me? This is what you hate? Honey, I got things far more important for you to hate than that. I mean, that's some trivial BS. It's so terrible that you were slightly inconvenienced during your walk through the mall. Have some gratitude for what you have, It's like, I will send you to a place where toilets don't flush, if they even have toilets and not a hole in the ground. You want to try that on for size for 2 weeks and realize that people live their whole lives like that? Yeah, stop it. Stop it, you arrogant SOB. So, this is what the Columbine boys wrote. This is his journal or whatnot. Know what else I hate? John Binary, however the F you spell her spoiled ass name Ramsey. We don't care. Good effing riddance. What the F do you expect if you effing put your kid in all these beauty pageants when she's 4 years old? Oh, John Benet Ramsey. He calls her a slut. He calls a 4-year-old child a slut. I bet her damn dad did it, effing perv. Know what I hate? Stupid people. Why must so many people be so stupid? I don't consider you among smart people either. Have a little humility, that kind of thing. So yeah, these are actually, you know what I love? Making fun of stupid people doing stupid things. Like one time I was watching this freshman trying to get on a computer that needed a password. He typed in the password and waited. The retard didn't press enter or anything, he just waited. Then he started cussing at the computer saying it was screwed up. Then the freshman went and got a teacher, and the effing teacher could not figure out why it wasn't going anywhere. Jesus. Personally, I think they should be shot. Why? Why do they deserve to be shot? Why? They didn't really have a clue. No, they were absolutely clueless. Absolutely clueless. I mean, that's the arrogance, the deceit, and the what was the third one Jordan talked about? Resentment. So arrogance, deceit, and resentment. You put those three in combination, and all hell breaks loose. That is the key to opening up hell. Arrogance, resentment, and dishonesty, lying. So these boys had that in spades. You know what I love? Natural selection. GD, it's the best thing that's ever happened to the earth, getting rid of all the stupid and weak organisms. But it's all natural. Yes, I wish the government would just take off every warning label so then all the dumbasses would either severely hurt themselves or die, and boom, no more dumbasses. Heh. You really think you're that smart? You really think that you're that smart? I mean, warning labels, that's lawyer stuff. But do you really think that you're that smart that you would pass the test to be considered one of the people that doesn't get Darwined? You think you're so smart that you're not going to get a Darwin Award? Really? Really? How many people do you want me to compare you to? What are your grades like? What are your SAT scores like? We can use that. The SAT score is an IQ exam. So, let's do this. Let's compare your SAT scores to the SAT scores of everyone else who's ever taken the test and see if you measure up on the smart side or the dumb side. And if it's just dumb, is anyone dumber than you? Well, come on, who made you God? But that's what they did, is they decided that they were going to be God that day, decide who lived and who died. Of course, they couldn't completely be God that day because, locked doors happen, that kind of thing. And it's straight out of, what's the one that's the Russian story that has the guy commit the perfect crime. But the problem is that the Raskolnikov, prior to murder, the character prior to the murder is not the same character as the person who has committed murder. And that's one of those things. It's like, you can't take that back. You just took away any chance of redemption that may have happened. You took away all options that were on the table. They're just gone now because you made a choice to pull a trigger. And so I of course they committed suicide, and these people always do, because they realize, oh shit, there's no reset button. excuse my language. There's no reset button on life. You got to live with this now. What you did. You were so angry that you did this, and you're going to have to live with it. You're going to have to live with knowing that you took that family's daughter away, that family's son away, that granddaughter, that nephew, that niece. You took them away for your own selfish, arrogant, just, are you kidding me? What the F were you thinking? And, I know you were thinking that stuff, but it's like, are you kidding me? That's the level of stuff that made you want to pick up a gun and kill people? Come on. What I gotta go back. To what is wrong with these people? They didn't really have a clue. All right, where were we? Transcripts. This is hilarious because this just contradicts what he said a second ago. Know what I hate? A-holes who cut. Why the F can't you wait like every other human being on earth does? If you cut, you are the following: stuck up, self-centered, selfish, lazy, impatient, rude, and damn, I ran out. Anyway, every effing line that I get into, I end up having to wait an effing hour when there was only me and it was only me and one other person in line. Then the QSing S lets all of his or her so-called friends cut in behind them. If it happens one more time, I will have to start referring to the Anarchist Cookbook bomb section. And it's like, weren't you just complaining? You just contradicted yourself. People that cut and, get the F out of my way. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both of get the F out of my way, because then you're the one cutting, and I hate cutters. Oh my gosh. Yeah, all of this stuff is, I don't like it when bad things happen to me, and the things that happen to me aren't that bad. Oh, you were so inconvenienced. And he even says that, why can't you wait like everyone else? Why can't you wait like everyone else? Calm down. It's just, So, do as I say, not as I do. Exactly. I'm going to leave that up for a little while longer. It's just, he has the arrogance of youth. The world revolves around me. And, not enough of the wisdom of the world. No, you're 1 in 6-7 billion people. No, the world does not revolve around you. And on top of that, it will crush you if you're not careful. And they weren't careful. And it did crush them. So, it makes, for Jordan Peterson to say that this stuff, makes his hair stand on end. I'm like, what? You know what I really hate? Liars. Oh God, I hate liars. And living in this effing neighborhood, there's thousands of them. Why the F must people lie so much? Especially about stupid things. Yeah, I just bought 5 cases of M80s in Oklahoma for about $5. And they're legal there and everything. Yeah, my parents buy most of my guns. Every once in a while, I'll use my $4,000 paycheck and buy a shotgun or two. And my brand new hammer just broke down on the highway when I was going 250 miles an hour. Stupid cars like that now. What the effing part, if any, would a normal human being believe? And that's just one person. Another big, I mean, who cares? Dude's lying. You know he's lying. Who cares? You know he's lying. So how can he hurt you? Um, I have to head out early. Mantis, wandering violin mantis. Very romantic. Very romantic name. You go spend time with your hubby, and I will see you later. Give me a call sometime. So, Oki says, I'll never get rid of that name. Darn you, Bill Gates. Thanks, Mantis. Hello to you too. So yeah, it's one of the. I mean, these kids. This stuff was not that dark. This stuff is not that dark. Maybe it gets darker. I don't know. I'll have to take a look. But seriously, this just sounds like a kid whining and throwing a temper tantrum to me. It's like, why are you whining? Why do you think that everything has to go your way? And why are you so upset when things don't go your way? Big deal. How much did it hurt you? It didn't really. Oh, somebody cut in line for a movie, and you're no longer the second person in line. You're now the 50th person in line. Okay, why don't you go up there and do something about it and say, hey man, you let all your friends cut in front, and now I'm 52 instead of 2. Let me cut in too. Let me get in front of all your friends. What are you doing? You know this is wrong. What are you doing? And there's all sorts of ways you could have played it. And that's, I think, what the chapter is going to be about. Bring everything to bear that you can before condemning the world or condemning people to death. But yeah, I'll read up on these because they are interesting, but they don't seem as dark as Peterson made them out to be. But maybe there are other writings that are darker. Probably are, because yeah, this is nothing. But anyway, oh no, more internet problems. Well, 50th might be much. I'd step then. Yeah, exactly. If it's really that egregious. But I don't think it is. I think he's lying just as bad as those other people that he accuses of lying badly. It's like, really? 50? And you didn't say a damn thing? Come on. So, it's look in the mirror. It's look in the mirror time. Instead of pointing out everybody else, realize that you've got 3 fingers there pointing back at you. Those 3 fingers are going, check out the log in your eye before you worry about the mote in your brother's eye. That sort of thing. So, but anyway, it is 8 o'clock. We have made it through all the technical difficulties and everything else. Thank you for staying with me and seeing me through this crisis. We're still having internet trouble, so I got to call CenturyLink tomorrow when they have real people there and not just an AI. So, yeah, please smash that like button on your way out, and I will hopefully be there for Saturday. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I need to get my house in order and make sure that I'm making these lives again. So, but anyway, I will talk to you all later. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, fun times. Honestly, fun times. So,